My boyfriend tried to fat shame his friend, but his friend blew back with something harder, and that's how I found out it's not the first time my boyfriend has blown something hard. Posted by u/sweatydark2229. I, 26F, had been with my now ex-boyfriend, Eric, 28M, for 2 years. Overall, we had a good relationship, nothing crazy, until last night, when things completely fell apart. We were out at a bar with some of his friends, just having a normal night, drinks, food, the usual. Eric and his friend Mark, 28M, were joking around, and Eric made a comment about how much Mark was eating, something like, "Careful, Mark, you'll eat the whole damn bar." It seemed harmless at first, just typical guy humor. But then Mark looked right at me and said, "If only she knew." It was one of those moments where you instantly feel uncomfortable, like there's something going on behind your back. I had no idea what Mark was talking about, and the whole vibe at the table shifted. But before I could even react, Eric exploded. He went off on Mark, screaming at him to shut the hell up, and even tried to get physical. His other friends had to hold him back. Mark didn't really react, which only made Eric angrier. The whole thing was awkward as hell, and we ended up leaving early. When we got back to my place, I couldn't stop thinking about that comment. So I asked Eric, what the hell did Mark mean by "if only she knew"? What don't I know? And instead of just answering me like a normal person, Eric lost it again. He started yelling at me, telling me to drop it and stop being paranoid. He was dodging every question, getting more pissed every time I brought it up. I wasn't trying to pick a fight, I just wanted to know what was going on. It felt like there was something important being hidden from me, and I wasn't about to let it slide. But every time I asked, he'd just get more defensive and angry. Finally, he stormed out of my apartment. He doesn't live with me, so I locked the door and called it a night. I didn't hear from him until this morning, and when I did, it was just more angry texts telling me to drop it and leave him alone. At that point, I was done. I'm not going to sit around and be treated like I'm crazy for asking a simple question. I texted him back, saying we're done, I need space, and if he can't be honest with me, then I don't want any part of this relationship, end of story. Now here's where it gets worse. He's been going around to our mutual friends, telling them that I left him for no reason and trying to make it seem like I'm the one who overreacted. Some of them have even reached out to me, saying I should have just let it go and that I'm blowing things out of proportion. I told them to mind their own damn business. I don't care what they think, none of them were in that moment, none of them saw how he acted, and none of them have to live with a pit in their stomach that I've had since that weird comment from Mark. I'm not about to stay in a relationship where I feel like something shady is going on behind my back. If Eric can't be upfront with me after 2 years together, then what's the point? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I get the distinct feeling that this is not the first time you've confronted him about possible infidelity. Ops response. You're right, sadly. A few months ago, he was staying out late when going out with friends. I asked him about it, and he stopped going out with his friends because you want this, you don't want me to be happy. Update 3 days later. I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted nightmare, and the more I try to make sense of it, the worse it gets. Mark called me today while I was at work. I didn't expect him to call me because he had been ignoring me. I stepped outside to take the call, and he told me something that I never in a million years could have prepared for. He told me that Eric has been putting other men's loads into my food, drinks, skincare, shampoo, conditioner, and even my toothpaste. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not being dramatic, that's what Mark said. Eric has apparently been hooking up with random men, having them finish into cups, and then using it in my meals and drinks like it's some kind of sick joke. Even as I write this, I'm still in complete disbelief. Who does that to someone? Mark said he found out about this a week ago, but for some reason, it took him that long to tell me. A week, a whole effing week I've been living my life, completely oblivious, trusting Eric, someone I loved, while this was happening behind my back. I feel so betrayed, so disgusted, and so violated. When I asked Mark if he and Eric were having an affair or if this was some sort of twisted thing between them, he swore they weren't, and he even made a gross comment about not wanting to touch Eric because who knows what diseases he has. That made my stomach turn. I'm getting tested for everything now because I don't know what's been in my body. When I got home, I went straight to the kitchen. Mark told me to check under the sink, and there they were, the cups, hidden behind the cleaning supplies. I went mental. I threw out everything in the kitchen and bathroom, even stuff I knew wasn't touched. I don't care, everything feels contaminated now. My home doesn't feel like a safe space anymore. Every time I walk into the kitchen, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I can't even function without my mind going to dark places, thinking about all the times I had no idea what was happening. I don't have any solid proof of this. It's just Mark's word and those disgusting cops, and I feel so powerless. If nothing can be done about this, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. How is this even legal? How can someone get away with something so vile? I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust anyone again. This whole thing has been messing with my head in ways I can't even explain. I feel dirty. I feel like I've been violated on such a deep level, and there's nothing I can do to undo it. My mom wants me to check into a hospital just to make sure I'm okay mentally, and I'm honestly going to do it. I don't feel stable right now. I don't feel like myself. I'm scared I might hurt myself or someone else. Eric was eating the same food. He was eating the food that he had contaminated, right alongside me. What the F? I don't even know anymore. All I know is that the man I thought I knew, the man I loved, is a complete stranger to me now. I can't believe I've been living with someone capable of something so vile. I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I don't know how I'm going to come back from this. How can you do this to me? I'm genuinely losing it. I'm a danger to myself. I won't be on, I'm going to check myself into the hospital. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. It was only 2 days ago that you posted this. Go get all of the items you threw away out of the effing garbage and turn them into the police. There's your solid proof. You threw it away. And by the way, it is not legal. If those items are tested and come back positive, he is going to jail. I hope you get justice. Ops response. Everything I threw out was in the kitchen garbage, so it didn't get taken on trash day. My mom and cousin went to my house with the police to get it for evidence. I'm pressing charges against him. Second update 5 months later. After everything happened, I completely broke down. I stopped eating, I stopped sleeping, and I barely even felt like a person anymore. My mom was terrified, and she practically forced me to go to the hospital. I tried to put it off for a couple of days. I got worse. She was scared I was going to do something to myself. And honestly, I don't blame her. I wasn't okay. I was so far from okay. I felt like my entire world had been flipped upside down. I couldn't even think straight. I just kept replaying everything in my head over and over again, trying to make sense of it, but nothing about this makes sense, nothing. I ended up staying in the hospital for a week. The doctors were kind, and they did their best to help me, but there was only so much they could do. They couldn't erase what happened. They couldn't make it not real. At some point, I just felt like I was wasting space. I knew there were other people who needed that bed more than I did, people who were physically hurt, people who could actually be helped. Because what happened to me? There's no fixing that. No amount of therapy, no amount of medication, no amount of time is ever going to undo it. I know that now. So I left. I'm back at my parents' house now, staying in my old childhood bedroom. It feels so strange, like I've stepped back in time. Like I'm a teenager again, except I'm not. I'm an adult, and my entire life has just exploded in front of me, and I don't even know how to pick up the pieces. My cousin is here too, staying in the guest room, and honestly, I don't know what I would do without her. She's basically my sister, and she hasn't left my side since I got here. I know she's worried about me, even though she tries not to show it. I don't blame her. I'm worried about me too. The police actually took things seriously. I was scared they wouldn't, that they would laugh at me or tell me I was crazy. But they didn't. I could see it on their faces, they believed me. They went to Mark's house to get his full story since he had blocked me the day after everything went down. That hurt more than I thought it would. I thought he was my friend. I thought he cared about me. But the second things got hard, he ran. But now, I know the truth. And I finally have the full story. That night, when Mark and Eric were drinking together, Mark went to change the music on Eric's phone. While he was doing that, a message popped up from Lewis, yes, one of the friends that told me I was overreacting. The message said, "Good night, I love you," with a heart emoji. Mark thought it was weird. Lewis and Eric weren't that close, so he scrolled through the notifications and saw a bunch from Grindr. At first, he thought maybe it was just a joke. Apparently, Eric used to go on Grindr as a joke back when they were younger and having sleepovers. But the more he scrolled, the worse it got. There were so many messages. Mark said his stomach dropped. He felt sick. He never suspected that Eric was actually gay. He never even considered it. But in that moment, everything started to click. So he confronted him. That's when Eric broke down. He started crying, begging Mark not to tell me. He told him everything. Every disgusting detail. Mark said he just stood there, frozen, unable to move. He didn't know what to do. He told Eric to calm down and go to bed. Eric passed out drunk, and the next morning, neither of them spoke about it. But then that night at the bar, When Eric made the comment about food, knowing that Mark had struggled with body image issues his whole life, that was it. That was the breaking point. That's why Mark reacted the way he did. That's why he snapped. And now, for Eric, I don't even know how to say this, so I'm just going to say it. He's dead. After everything came out, Eric completely shut down. His mom said he wasn't eating, wasn't showering, and barely left his room. She thought he was just processing everything, so she left him alone. She would leave for work in the morning, and he would still be asleep. She'd come home at night, and he would still be in his room, sitting there in the dark, smoking weed. She said he hadn't smoked since high school, so she had no idea where it even came from. Then one night, she went to check on him, and that's when she found him. He had hung himself from his ceiling fan. She was the one who found him, alone. I don't even know how to process that. As much as I hate him, as much as I will always hate him, I felt bad for her. No mother should have to find their child like that, no one deserves that. I'm not continuing the investigation. I don't have it in me. His family has already been through enough. And honestly, his death was my closure. That probably sounds awful, but it's the truth. He was a terrible person. He ruined me. He gave me HIV. I am never going to be the same again. I will carry this for the rest of my life. I wish I had never met him. I wish I could erase him from my memory. I dread the day I die because that means I might see him again. And then there's Lewis. He's hiding, he's blocking everyone, avoiding all contact. And at first, I didn't understand why. But now I do. He was involved. He was one of them. I didn't even consider it at first, but the way he's acting now, it's obvious. And if he was, he's either going to jail or getting hit with my car. And I'm fine with either. That's all for now. Sorry if this isn't the update you wanted. But this is my reality now. I'm so angry, the thought of death doesn't even bring me peace because he ruined that for me. There's so much more to this, but I don't think it's really necessary for you guys, it's mostly just police stuff. Eric's family wanted me to attend his funeral, and then there's the whole situation with Lewis. Also, Mark tried to sleep with me. Thank you so much for the support, and I'm sorry it took so long to update. I wasn't okay. I'm still not, but I'm doing better. Your comments and messages kept me going. I love you all.